What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Boxing Club podcast. I am yours truly, Bigg Chubbs. And today we got a very special guest with us tonight. He's a top tier elite coach in the sport of boxing. He has a strong pedigree of his kids that are in the sport. Not only do both of his sons fight, one's a movie star, if you really think about it. And he has a very strong stable behind him. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the one, the only, Jose Benavidez Jr. Senior, sorry. ¿Cómo estamos, Jose?
Oh, pues estamos muy bien. Thank you so much for the invite. And thank you for taking the time. And I want to thank all the fans for all these years and all that support. And it's amazing, man, to be honest, from not knowing anything about boxing and being here with you. It's a big accomplishment.
Well, thank you so much for giving me some time. I know you have a busy week ahead of you. For those that don't know, Diego Pacheco fights this weekend. So he's here with the fight week. And I seen you Saturday at the Elite Boxing Promotions in Adelanto for the Bullet.
Yeah, like you said, man. You know, I've been super busy, and thank God I'm blessed. We had the week before that we had Federico Pacheco fighting here in L.A. Now we're in Adelanto, California, fighting with Bullet Alba. First fight, super exciting, and he brought a lot of people to the fights. And now we're here on week 5 for Diego Pacheco, fighting one of his biggest tough fights. And from this fight, I think we're going to define and see where he's at in order to get closer to a world title. So I think he has to look spectacular in this fight and look really good in order to line him up with the big boys.
Okay, so we'll get into like the details a little bit later, but right here on the Boxing Club podcast, we like to get to know you. Who's David Benavidez? I mean, who's Jose Benavidez outside of boxing, outside of the sport? Where are you originally from?
I was born in Mexico, Guerrero, Mexico. I came here when I was 11 years old. And unfortunately, my mom and my dad separated when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I was here for a little bit, and actually in L.A., Panorama City. And unfortunately, I had to go back to Mexico, and I was there until I was 11 years old. And when I came here, I was already like a troublemaker, you know, because I didn't have no education. I had nobody to guide me. And I was happy because I came with my mom, and she already had another husband and all that. But I was only there like maybe for like about 6-7 months. And I ran out and started hanging around with the gangsters and and where I was living by. And that's it. You know, but I kind of knew how to make money and all that because
Right.
I grew up in the streets. And Junior was born when I was like about 15, almost 16 years old.
Oh, you had him that early?
Yeah, so
Oh,
so
you
I had to hustle. I had to work. By that time, I already had money. I had a car, and all that. You know, so I had a place to live. So I grew up fast. I became responsible real quick, and by the age of 18, I didn't want to do this anymore because you know I lived my life always in the streets, and I couldn't even sleep. You know,
looking over your shoulder
yeah,
everywhere
I
you
couldn't,
went.
yeah, I had no peace. I didn't want to put my family into danger. So it's funny because when Junior was like about, I would say like about maybe 8 months, 9 months, I took him to a park, and there was a shooting. You know, they would try to kill me. You know,
No
so
way.
I just remember that I covered him, and that's when I kind of panicked. Not for me, for him. You know, and the next night, you know, I just got what I could grab and went to Arizona. And when I got to Arizona, man, that was the first time in so many years where I just fell asleep and didn't worry about nothing.
You had
And
peace.
I was like, what, man, this feels really good. Shit, I don't want to go to do that. I don't want to do none of that, what I was doing before. So I went and got a job, and I worked at the Ritz-Carlton for 15 years, you know. Started washing dishes, and then I became a banquet captain. You know,
Oh, no
so
way.
yeah, so I went to all these departments actually, and that's when my life started. Then you know he was 5, 6 years old, and I remember that I always told myself, you know, when I have my kids, I'm gonna love them and play with them and put them into sports, and that's how I got them into boxing. And I didn't know nothing about boxing. When I was like 26 years old, Junior was like about 7 years old, and nothing, not even what was a jab or how to stand or
How
nothing
to
like that.
walk.
How to walk, especially that. I didn't know nothing at all, man. But I became obsessed with boxing, and I fell in love with boxing, and then I really had to study. I had to see what other coaches were doing, how to put the hand wraps and how to do the mitts, and then I would go home and watch a lot of videos of Julio Cesar Chavez, Oscar De La Hoya. At that time, they were really making it, and Roy Jones, Nassim Hamed, and I had the what was it called? Tapes?
VHS,
Yeah, VHS
VHS.
tapes. So I would rewind, go
Right.
back right away, and I would rewind to see how I remember how Trinidad would plant on his feet and throw that left hook. I remember seeing Oscar De La Hoya throwing those combinations and that jab, and Trinidad, like I said, planning and throwing that hook, and everybody, like Julio Cesar going to the body, and I love the way he works that body. So, and the defense he had. So all these fighters, man, I used to study, and little by little, I became obsessed with boxing, and now I think, at this point, I think that I don't know nothing yet, and
Right.
I'm still learning every day. I don't know what keeps me motivated to keep learning, and I have a lot of love for the sport.
Were you into boxing prior
I didn't know
to
nothing. I didn't
nothing?
know nothing about boxing.
So how
Nothing.
did you fall into it? You
That's
just
that's what I'm saying. The funny thing is, I would do all these things, and I was very successful on everything I did because everything I did it with love, and I wanted to be the best at anything. Nobody could
Mhm.
be better than me since I was little. So when I started doing boxing, in my mind, I thought, shit, I'm gonna be the best at
Right.
this. But I didn't know how hard it was going to be. So
Right.
I didn't know nothing. I just had to learn and watch how people speak to their fighters and how they would give them the instructions, and how to train them. And I would put a lot of attention to details.
Mhm.
And I think that's what got me here because I remember one time I was asking God, what am I good at? I do all these things, but I'm not really good at nothing.
Yeah.
And like I said, I fell in love with boxing, and little by little, I just got more experience. And Junior had his first fight, so I felt super special, man. I felt like super great, when he won his first fight, and we just started training harder and harder. But the funny thing is, once we started winning, everything started changing. All that love went away.
Really?
All that, in my mind, when I was training already for a year, Junior had like about 15 fights. In my mind, I couldn't say I love you no more because I thought if I say I love you, I'm gonna make him weak. I'm gonna, for some reason, I don't know why I was thinking that.
Really?
So I just became like a bad parent, kind of like soldiers, and then I started panicking, because I thought I was gonna probably die.
Mhm.
And I'm like thinking, fuck, if I die, who's gonna protect them? I gotta make him strong. I gotta make him strong. Let's run, let's train, let's do abs, let's do a lot of exercises, and I just wanted to, train every day. And sometimes when you're a kid, you want to go out and play. I wouldn't allow that. They wanted to go to the movies with their friends, and I wouldn't allow that either. So I became this monster, I think. And when I thought I would never do what they did to me.
Right.
So at the end of the day, for so long, I felt so bad, and to be honest, I didn't. Now, sometimes when I think about it, it hurts, because they didn't have no childhood. But now, when I see them that they're world champions and they're making movies, it
Yeah.
was worth it, But it was they had a really really tough time, to they didn't even want to do boxing. They had to do it because they had to do it, So they
There was no
hated
other choice.
they hated boxing. Even David hated boxing. But I told them, until you guys find something that you love and you want to do, we're gonna do it. But until you guys don't find nothing, we're gonna do boxing.
Man, that's crazy. So there was nothing that you went through like in your childhood that made you think like I have to do like a militant mindset.
I just panicked, man. To be honest, I never been in the military. I see movies and I see that
Yeah.
now, but I just panicked, man. I just wanted them because I went through a lot, man. When I was 2, 3 years old, I went to abused, they raped me, you know, they did so many things to me that I was afraid to people, to be honest with you. I didn't want to see people because I thought they were going to hurt me. So, you know, when I remember when I saw a person, a human, you know, I was fucking high, you know. And then for a long, long time, I couldn't even speak, you know. I had to show myself how to speak again and not be afraid, you know. So I thought about that. So I'm like, fuck, if something happens to me, you know, because I don't have family, you know, so I don't really have nobody who's going to protect them.
Right.
So then that's when I became just a different person, you know. And thank God, you know, he got me to the right way. And now I was able to adjust and be a different person. And now I fucking tell them I love you every day, you know.
Right.
When I call them and I hug them and tell them how much I love them, you know. But when they were like, David, pretty much when he was 2 years old to like 17, 18, I didn't even say I love you, you know. And Junior, since he was he's 32. So when he was 7 years old to like fucking 30 years old, 29, I couldn't even say that, you know.
So after all that time that you never told him I love you, when was the first time? Do you remember telling him for the first time that you love him?
Well,
At an older age?
Yeah, when they were older, yeah, when they became world champions, you know. Then I'm like, fuck, man, you know, they're world champions now at least, you know. I think they can take care of themselves, you know. And finally, I just let it go, you know, and I felt so good, man, you know. And sometimes, you know, not now, but even like about half a year ago, it really hurt me, you know, when I remember those things, you know, it really hurt me a lot, you know. I fucking start crying, man. I couldn't stop, you know,
Yeah.
because they hurt me so much. But little by little, it's been going away, and now I understand, you know, that I did the best that I could. I had no guidance, you know. Nobody's gonna tell you how to raise your kids, but at the end of the day, I think I have two great guys, you know. That are very good people, very respectful, you know, and they're world champions, you know. So.
Right.
So now, you know, sometimes I thought, you know, I think that was the best way. Otherwise, they wouldn't be where they are now, you know.
But they do say the people that the kids that had the I wouldn't say tougher childhood, but the more stricter childhood are the ones who become more successful. And it's been proven like time and time and time and time again. Right? Look at Junior and look at David, world champions, movie stars. And then you see a lot of MMA fighters, or you see basketball players, football players, baseball players. All their parents did was like, you're not doing nothing else but this.
Yeah, and you know what a lot of people don't understand, you know, is that I went through a divorce when Junior was like about 9 years old. David was like about 6, 7, somewhere around there. So that's when I panicked more. Like, man, you know, I was like, what am I gonna do now, you know? So it was super hard, and you know what I did. Of course, you know, I had some money. I had a house, so I sold it. I gave the mom half, and I kept half. But when my half, I'm like, I'm gonna invest it on them. You know, my dreams are done. I'm done. You know, I really don't care about my life no more. So I'm just gonna dedicate from now on. You know, I want to ask God, you know, for another day, so I can spend with them, and I'm gonna help them get to their dreams, no matter what. My dreams are done. You know, so I'm just here for them.
Yeah.
And that was the plan. I don't even know where I was going. I didn't even know, you know. I mean, like I said, you know, I never trained nobody. I was not a trainer, and I don't even know what I was thinking, bro. To be honest with you,
Right.
but I knew that I had to train every day. We had to train, and they were winning. They broke records. Both of them broke records, a lot of records. David's the youngest world champion in history. Junior won the national Golden Gloves, the youngest. Floyd was the youngest, but he beat Floyd.
Oh, he beat Floyd?
He beat Floyd. You
Oh,
know?
no way.
So that was a big accomplishment too. So we were just there. I didn't even know they were going to go professional, but thank God they signed with big promotion companies and all that. But I never been where I've been. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. Now I know how to get there. You know.
Right.
So now it makes it easier. But before I had no clue. I wasn't even thinking. You know, to be honest with you, I spent all my money and all my savings and all that. But I didn't care. You know, I just wanted to see how far I could go with them to achieving their dreams.
But doesn't it feel better? Like none of this was given to you. Like everything that you've gotten, everything that your kids have gotten has been earned.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing was given to us because at the end of the day, you know, if they were sons of other fighters, it made it easier.
Yeah.
Or we had money or whatever, you know, but nothing was given to us. We had to work really hard for it. and that's what I'm super happy about it because I remember when Junior was fighting amateur, I had to sell tamales, elotes,
Really?
chocolates, pretty much shirts,
Would you
car
make the
washes.
tamales or would you buy it or have
No,
someone
no,
make
I
it for
had
you?
made. No, no, nobody would buy my tamales, but but no, I would, I would make some lady or people make them, and then I would sell them, by the dozen. I remember that
Yeah.
by half a dozen or a dozen, and I used to go to Costco and get those boxes mixed with different chocolate bars and all that. So I would put them sell those, and I remember elotes, car washes, T-shirts, anything that I could do, just to raise some money because when we would go to the tournaments, they're like 3-4 days tournaments, so we had to pay for hotel, food, and entries and all that. So it was really expensive, plane tickets, and sometimes I used to drive.
Man, that's crazy. That's a wild story, and I've heard something a little bit like that. So, like, I love that story.
Let me tell you something. I just remember something. So I was so broke, man, that I would drive to the places. I would go to Walmart or Kmart and buy the stuff that I needed, like pillows, sheets, or stuff that I needed. I would use it for 3-4 days, and I would return them.
Really?
A bunch of shit. I was broke, man. I couldn't keep it, So I would anything that I would kind of buy and use and then return it.
Wow, that's crazy. So it's like all that time spent, and then you something went in your head, and you were like, I need to be strict, right? So, but now you have grandkids, and I'm pretty sure like all that love que no les enseñaste antes, it's like all for your grandbabies. And how does that feel? Like just
Yeah, well, I don't know if you guys see, my grandson Anthony, David wanted me to teach him how to box, and I'm not gonna say no to David,
yeah,
But in my mind, it was like, fuck, no, I don't want to go through that, man. To be honest,
yeah,
Junior and David hated me so much
mm-hmm.
because, they didn't understand. Why are you not letting me? I do everything you tell me to do, but how come I can't even go to the movies with my friends? Or I can't even talk to my friends. I timed them, from school to the house.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, all the time. They couldn't talk to nobody, because we had to go train. We had a lot of things to do, homework and all that. So I was very, very strict. So I don't think I could do that, with my grandson. But little by little, I've been training him, and David's been training him too. So, but he's different, man. He's natural, I think.
Es el que sale en la tele,
Sí,
right?
es el que sale.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
but he loves it, man. I don't have to push him. David doesn't have to push him. He does it by himself. Maybe because he sees his dad doing it. I don't know what it is, man. And he knows a lot, man. So I'm thinking, okay. Yeah, I could do
Right.
that, because he wants it. But these guys didn't want it, so I had to push them, and they had no choice, So it's a little different. But at the beginning, when he didn't know nothing, I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. I just want him to love me, man. I don't want to be a bad grandpa,
Yeah.
I just want to hug him and tell him how much I love him, And
But I think as your grandson, I think it'll be different. I think it'll be
well,
different.
I hope, man. Like I said, it's different though, and I'm liking it, So I think, yeah, I think it is going to be a little bit different.
Okay, so how far? So Junior started first. How far after did you push David into the gym?
Well, Junior, he was a superstar. He signed with the promotion company right away when he was 17 years old. He got a lot of money and all that, and money kind of got in the way, and I struggled a lot with him, because he would disappear and go with his friends. After he was 17, I kind of lost him, man. He didn't listen to me no more, and that's when I had to change too because I couldn't get him, So he did fight, but I think he could have gone a little bit more far, with the fights and all that. But he was just with the friends and all that, Even though I'm so proud of what he's done so far in life, but I think he could have done much more better. And then when he got shot in the leg, and he fought Terrence Crawford, I was so nervous for that fight. I didn't even want him to take that fight, and he did really well. I'm super proud. And but he was just fighting with one leg, and that's the hardest fight that Terrence Crawford has ever had in his life.
To be honest with you, I feel like if he would have never got shot and he fought him with two legs, it would have been a different
that's
outcome.
What I'm saying, yeah. So just like that, man. I wasn't even nervous about the fight. I was more nervous about the leg that's gonna give up or it's gonna break or something.
What was the time difference from when he got shot to the recovery time?
Like about a year. Like about a year or so.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, that was super. Yeah,
That was super fast.
That's why I was super nervous, because it was it was not heel 100%. You know,
I feel like Junior became a different fighter after that fight. I don't know if it was because he got shot in the leg.
well, a lot of things. You know, the doctor told him that he was in a fight and no more ever in his life, and he did it. You know,
Yeah.
so but it was difficult. You know, because at the end of the day, you know, there's a lot of things that he can't do. You know, like running and all that. So we had to swim and use other machines. You know, that could get him that stamina.
That's cool. So then David, he starts boxing, and then
No, the funny thing is, you know, I was more focused into Junior because he was the one, you know, and then Junior didn't really want to fight no more. Kind of was like there. So David was like about 260 pounds. He was like 5'6", maybe 5'5", somewhere around there. He was big, man. 260 is a lot. So he came up and he says, "Hey, Dad, you know, I want to lose weight." And I told him, "Yeah, sure, son. Anything you want, you know, we could definitely do it. You know, no problem." But then in back of my head, it's like, "Fuck, how the fuck do I start? Or what do I do?" You know, it's like I don't know if you have any kids or people that have kids. You know, they'll probably relate to me. You know, but you know, it's so hard when you love somebody and you tell them you can't eat that.
yeah,
You know, always, you know. So
I'm going through that right now with my little one.
yeah, I mean, and sometimes you know, I mean, who doesn't like hamburgers? Who doesn't like that? You know, those are
Yeah.
not good. You know, so so it's like,
but they're delicious.
but they are, yeah. So I mean, you love your kids so much that you know, you don't want to take that away. You know, or if they're good for a whole week, okay, you know, I'm gonna reward you with. But why would you do that? You know,
Yeah.
if they work so hard, you know, but it's just so difficult. But and yeah, we started. You know, the good thing about David, you know, when he said that, you know, I didn't even know how to start. And I told him, yeah, we're going to make it happen. I'm going to help you. We're going to do it. As long as you want to do it, I'm going to be there with you. And yeah, he started working, you know, watching his food and all that. And man, he started losing a lot of weight. Like in about a year and a half, he lost a lot of weight. And then he comes and he tells me, "Hey, Dad, I want to go pro." And then I told him the same thing. "Son, you could do whatever you want, you know. I will support you. And I think you got the talent. You can be a world champion." But in my mind, I was thinking, oh, shit, I don't know if that, you know, I'm gonna support you, you know, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say no, you know,
Right.
but I knew how hard it was gonna be, you know, so I thought, you know, if he sticks with it, you know, it's gonna happen, you know, so he started, you know, doing good and sparring Latif Coyote guys. I'm like, oh shit, I think we got something here, you know. So he did convince me. We got him ready. He fought when he was 16 years old. He fought in Mexico. I got him an easy opponent, you know, so he could get confidence. And then little by little, I started getting more opponents that were a little bit more tougher. And finally, when he was 18, he was able to fight in Arizona because he can fight here. These days, you got to be 18 in order to fight in the United States. Maybe Texas or other state, they'll allow you to fight at 17, or Mexico. So when he fought in Arizona, it was super exciting. He brought a lot of people in. We sold a lot of tickets. And from there on, everything started, man. And by the time he came and fought in Arizona, he had like about 9-10 fights.
Oh, that's dope.
And then the big break came, you know, when we used to go to Abel Sanchez gym, and we met Julian Jackson there.
And Big Bear?
And Big Bear, yeah. So Julian Jackson was fighting for a world title against Uzcategui. And then he called me. He says, "Hey, you know, I'm fighting Uzcategui for a world title. You know, I really like David. You think he could come and help us?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, man." And we're super happy. Like,
Right.
we're going to the Virgin Islands, you know, like, and getting paid for sparring, you know, like, we're super excited. David was super excited at that time. You know, he needed that little motivation, you know.
Right.
And we went over there, and when they picked us up, you know, the managers or whatever, you know, they're like, they didn't really like us, you know, like, because David had how many fights did he have? Like maybe 10 fights. And they were like thinking, like, man, you're fighting for a world title. Why are you going to bring this kid? He's only 18 years old. You should bring other people that are going to push you. And
More caliber, supposedly.
And he said, no, this kid is really good. He talked really highly about David. And they got us, and they're like, you know, okay, bring, you know, these guys, you know, they're waste of time, waste of money. So when he sparred Julian Jackson, he fucked him up.
No way.
And they're like, what the fuck? And he was happy, actually. He was like, see, I told you guys, see? Because they were giving him shit, too, you know? Why? It's just a waste of money, you know? See, I told you guys. And they're like, whoa, this kid is good. So Julian Jackson was signed with Samsung. So right away they call him and they say, hey, you know what? You got to see this fucking kid. This kid is fucking badass, you know? I think you should sign him. He's not signed. So the next day I get a call from Samson. Hey, I heard your kid, it's not signed. I'm interested in signing. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We got other options. I didn't have shit. But
You had to play it smart.
yeah, play it smart. And I said no, and then he says no, yeah, this is what I can do. So he got more interested, And I said, but yeah, we can talk and see. And yeah, like in about 3-4 days, we signed a contract with them, And then everything, it changed David's life, from there on. And I want to thank Sansom, for believing in David, and he's a 4-time world champion. So thanks to him, he had everything planned, and he's done a lot of good things. He told me that he was going to make David the youngest world champion in history, and he did.
That's crazy.
So I'm very thankful for that, and he believed on him. A lot of people didn't believe in David, and that's it, man. So we're super happy where we at, and we're blessed to be where we at.
Yeah, man. I mean, how does it feel to get that stamp of approval from Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson loves David.
To be honest, man, since the first fight Junior had, it's been amazing. I never been in a ring before since his first amateur. So when he fought his first professional, it felt amazing. So from when I started boxing to now, everything's just been super exciting, unbelievable,
a blessing,
and beautiful, man. I don't even have words for every step, and this is what keeps me motivated to get up and keep going, because I don't know if it's luck, I don't know if it's hard work, dedication, I don't even know what it is. But since I started boxing to now, I've been working super hard, man, and getting better and learning, and I still think that I'm learning, So, but I believe the dedication, time, and there were so many times that I don't want to do this anymore because it's hard too, It's very depressing, and it's the business and everything, politics, and sometimes it's just like, fuck, I don't want to do this shit anymore, because you see it so far, and it's like impossible.
Yeah.
But when you put your mind into it, you don't give up. Actually, you get rewarded for it, and to this point, man, every time I meet somebody and they talk really good about David. When I met Tyson, fuck, it was the most amazing day of my life.
Hey, is he really intimidating? Like people say that he is?
I don't know, man. I was intimidated all the time when I see him, dude, I mean, like even when he was there, I'm still intimidated by him, So he's just a great person, man. But when he gave David the name, the Mexican Monster, bro, it was unbelievable. It was super cool.
Yeah, I thought that was super dope. Because I think at that point, I think he was going up against Caleb Plant, is where everybody's like, oh, I don't think David can do it, and he was being doubted a lot. So by him coming out the way he did when he fought Caleb Plant, I was just like, dude, David is just different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because, and I don't know why people would like. It was always why David was doubted by the analysts and by media.
Well, the reason he was doubted is because he had to learn everything quick. He only had like about 5 amateur fights. He didn't really have a lot of amateur fights. He's been training since he was 2 years old.
Yeah.
But what happened is that I think at first they weren't seeing a lot of head movement. He was flat-footed, but I listened to the comments. And I respect all the comments, and I hear that a lot. So I told David, we got to work on footwork, a lot of ladder, doing a lot of stuff with the feet and all that. And then we started focusing more on head movement and staying low, cutting the ring off and all that. So I think the Caleb Plant fight was perfect for it.
Yeah.
Even though he was having a little bit problems at first, but we knew once we hit the body, it's game over. Yeah. But now you see him move a little bit more defense, and a lot of people were saying that he had no defense. So now everything's getting better and better and better.
Right.
So I think it was just a matter of understanding, listening, and get better.
And I'll tell you right now, I was super happy. Cuando le dieron la madre al Bubu.
Man, for that fight, I was so nervous. Because nobody wanted to fight Boo Boo. The way he fights is so fucking awkward, very slick, and he's all over the place, and the punches that he throws, you don't even know where they come from,
Yeah, I won $250 on that fight though.
Yeah,
So tell David I said thanks.
but we had to fight him, in order to prove ourselves and
Right.
see, They never offered me the fight, so I was thinking, fuck, if they don't offer, I'm not gonna ask for it,
Right.
I'm not gonna ask for it. But once they say, hey, we got Boo Boo, hey, fucking let's do it. I talked to David, let's make it happen right away.
And see, that's one thing that's very respectable of you, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people love you, is because you don't turn down no fights. You welcome every opportunity, and you're more than willing to take it.
Well, everybody that knows us, Benavidez, we're warriors, man. We're fighters, to me, I don't think a loss is the end of the world.
Right.
We want to see where we at, so we want to test our skills and see against other fighters and other coaches, and we never been afraid of fighting nobody. I think that in order to make history and be there like as a great champion, you got to fight everybody.
Right.
And you got to keep proving yourself.
So how do you think that? I know Floyd is like one of the greatest who ever done it, but by him retiring with the O and everybody that came after him, it's like, oh, I gotta keep the O. Like, how bad has that hurt boxing?
Boy, it hurt boxing a lot because now I see all these guys are more into social media and they're just fighters of social media. To be honest with you, they want to make sure they fight somebody that they know they're gonna win. They're afraid. They're afraid to lose their undefeated records, and we've seen a lot now that they're losing their undefeated records. But for us, it never really mattered. Like I said, we want to fight everybody and see what happens. To be honest, and now, like I said, I mean, Floyd did it. Not a lot of people were able to do it.
Right.
I mean, I don't really remember how many people have done it. And sooner or later you're gonna lose. I don't know why he didn't lose. That's good, but I mean, it's super hard not to lose. When you're fighting a good competition.
Yeah, most definitely. Now you guys have clearly reached stardom in boxing, right? The Benavidez is one of the biggest names in boxing. Do you find it more difficult to deal with the championship ladder for the boxing, or like the ladder star?
Nah, to be honest, like I said, we're simple people. We're here to prove ourselves, and hopefully we can make history in boxing and stay in the books. That we can be remembered by, the Benavidez. Like you said, now we're known all over the world. The Benavidez name in boxing is very strong, and we thank everybody for it. But we still have a lot of fight in us, so we're going to continue building that name and see how far we can get. At the end of the day, for me, it's just motivating other parents, like me, that didn't know nothing about boxing, and motivating the kids that David only had 4 amateur fights, and he was really big. Yesterday, I went to an event that they had here in Compton, and one kid came up, no, like about 2 kids came and said, hey, I really love David. I feel really motivated by them. I was really big. And they're so proud to tell you I was big, and that makes me really happy. So at the end of the day, to be honest with you, I think I did my part for these guys, my sons, to be world champions. Now I just want to keep working so one day they can be proud of what I done. And I have another daughter; she's 11, and my wife. To be honest, and if I can help other parents also to be motivated and work with their kids, it doesn't matter if it's boxing or soccer, whatever. It's the same dedication, the same hard work. So if I could help them. If I can motivate them, to spend more time with their kids, that's all I'm looking for.
Right. And I've done a lot of research and homework, right? I've watched a lot of your interviews, and everybody all wants to do is talk about Canelo. How frustrating has that been?
It's super frustrating, even though, like you said,
Yeah.
Canelo. Every time, every interview, they talk about Canelo. To be honest, it's super frustrating because we've been wanting that fight for 3 years. At first, he said, no, David's too big. He hasn't accomplished anything. Later,
But he fought before.
Huh?
But he fought before.
Yeah. Then he says, oh, the father talks a lot of shit. They're respectful. They're this, they're that. Now, I said, you know what? I want to apologize to Canelo because that's not the way I do it. But I had to do it in order to get him mad and maybe make that fight happen.
Right.
I'm not like that. I want to apologize to it, for whatever. That's not what we do. Now, he's saying that David would only bring 25 pounds a day to fight more than him. Now he's saying that he didn't look good against
Alexander.
Alexander. He didn't look good against the little guy. What's his name? Charlo. He couldn't even stop Charlo. That's a little guy too. You know, how are you gonna say those things? You know, he doesn't know that in this fight David came injured with 2 hands and a cut over his eye, but we still made it happen. Super proud of what David did, his performance. I'm super happy because I'm the only one that knows what happened, how he came out to the fight, and I know that he's a monster. He's gonna beat this guy, and he beat him. You know, and but that's the thing. You know, now he says that he wants to fight David. I mean, and he's saying that he didn't look good. Why not fight him?
Right.
But then he's asking $200 million. Nobody's going to give him $200 million. Maybe $100 million, maybe, you know. So maybe if it was like that, maybe he can fight him. But $200 million, I don't think he's not going to get that.
That's insane. That's crazy. Yeah. All right, so enough of the Canelo talk. Because I know you're probably like, fuck, otra vez, como chingan.
I mean, to be honest, I'm used to it now. You know, it doesn't bother me no more, but it did bother me a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And even when I saw, you know, things on Instagram, it would, but now, you know, I'm like, I let it go. You know, everything's good, not a problem, you know? So it doesn't bother me. It bothers him more now, I think, that it bothers us.
How surprised were you that they made that Berlanga fight?
I wasn't surprised at all, you know, to be honest with you. That's what they do, you know. They try to see, you know, who they can beat. And he knew, and everybody knew that he could beat, was it Munguia?
Yeah.
He's very hittable, you know, and I didn't think he had the experience, you know, to face Canelo. Now, I mean, Berlanga has been looking not that great. You know, and we know that, and you know, he's talking a lot of shit about me that I don't like him, this and that.
I was gonna ask you.
No. You know what? To be honest, and I want to congratulate him for landing this fight. You know, we all want to fight Canelo, and he got it. So congratulations to him. You know, he got that fight, and to be honest with you, I'm on his side. I would love for him to beat Canelo. You know, because I think if he beats Canelo and takes all those belts away, then other fighters have more opportunities to fight. Right now, Canelo has a lot of pull, you know, and he says it, I do whatever I want.
Right.
And he's doing it. So I don't think Berlanga has the same power of Canelo right now. So Berlanga will have to face tougher opponents, and otherwise they will take the belts away. And they said they were going to take it away when David beat Boslick, you know, and he was going to be a mandatory. That didn't happen. So I think with somebody else, it might happen. And, you know, he has a great chance. You know, he's young, he's strong. I mean, the only thing that I always said, you know, if he stays dedicated, there's nothing wrong me saying that.
Right.
Because if he stays focused and he stays fucking dedicated, man, he's a fucking monster. We've seen how hard he hits, you know.
Right.
So I want to congratulate him. And like I said, you know, I'm hoping for him to win. I'm cheering for him, actually, to win. You know, but at the end of the day, I think Canelo has a lot of experience. And I think he's going to be able to adjust, and maybe, you know, I see Canelo winning, you know, to be honest with you. If I was to bet, you know, I would bet on
Put
Canelo.
your money on Canelo?
Yeah, but fuck, but it would be a big upset, you know, and I would like to see that, like.
But why do you think, why do you think Berlanga is saying that, because I saw him on, I think it was on $1 million worth of game with, on a podcast, and they asked about David and they asked about you.
Yeah. You know, there's a person, you know, that's working with them that's trying to break us apart and trying to talk a lot of shit. I don't even want to mention his name, man.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, you know. And, you know, to be honest with him, he's the one that's making all these things, and he's telling them that you maybe, oh, the Benavidez talked a lot of shit over there about you, this and that. And you know, the thing is, that's not true, man, you know,
right.
To be honest with you. And that's why he had so much hate, you know, because everybody's attacking him, to be honest with you. Everybody. But at the end of the day, you know, I saw him with when Canelo fought in Las Vegas. I gave him a hug. I have a picture with him, you know.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. He said that you guys ran into each other in Vegas, and you told him how much you respect him, and
I'm telling you right now, you know, hopefully he watches this interview.
I hope so.
I respect him a lot, bro. Yeah, I think he's a young guy, has a lot of potential, and super strong. But like I said, discipline, bro, discipline. And I'm sorry if he doesn't like that,
Right.
But I
It's not
believe,
disrespect either.
but I think if
It's
he has discipline, man, he has all the tools to be the best.
right.
You know. But like I said, discipline and stay focused. That's the only thing. I took a picture with him, and I felt really good taking it. He talked to me really good.
Right.
Really good, man. Yeah, we're saying, and then I even told him, hey, keep talking shit, whatever. So we can make that fight. But I did. I said it from my heart.
Right.
And when I gave him a hug, I hugged him with all my heart.
It was genuine.
Yeah, but like I said, people are starting to say stuff and all that in between us, But I mean, and if I see him, I'll tell him, listen, bro, I think you're a great fighter. I never talk shit about you. If I want to talk shit about you, I'll tell you in your face.
Right.
But that's not the case, bro. I think, like I say, it's a tough fight for him, and I hope he wins. Like I say, but it is a tough fight. It's really hard. Canelo has a lot of experience, man, and I think I see him winning. But you know what? I would be so happy. I would be jumping when Berlanga they gave him the win, because a lot of people are doubting him.
Yeah.
Nobody believes in Berlanga,
Right.
So
I don't.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't, but I think he definitely has a big chance to win.
I don't know, man. His best 3 fights, I think he's haven't looked the greatest.
But that's what I'm saying. Distractions. Being with all the rappers and singers and all that, and I think that's what it is. But if he trains hard, if he dedicates himself, you can see a different Berlanga.
Yeah.
Because he does have a lot of talent.
Well, I used to be able to tag him on Instagram. Back, I think it was like in 2022, maybe. It was right after Beknamir Melikuziev got his revenge on Gabe Rosado. I was like, oh, I want to see Beck and Berlanga, and I started tagging him, and then all of a sudden, like, he blocked me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he blocked me, and I was like, oh, dude, like, what the heck? Because he would see my stories. He on everything that I would tag him, he'd see it. You can see that he's seen it. And I tell my buddy, and I was like, hey, wait, look, fool, like, Berlanga, he saw my shit. And I think I put on a comment, Berlanga doesn't want to smoke with Beck. Y desde entonces, dude, like, I wasn't able to tag him anymore.
I mean, if you do that to me, I fucking keep following you, because at the end of the day, I want to prove you wrong.
Right.
And it's a motivation, I mean.
And I don't think I meant any disrespect by it, you know what I mean? Because I'm a big Beck fan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people just feel disrespected, but you're free to do whatever you want. Your opinion means a lot too, At the end of the day, you're watching him when he's in a fight, so you're supporting him either way, So.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it all.
Yeah.
I watch it all. Yeah. So, Creed 3. How did you guys land that?
Oh, man, the opportunity was there. They were casting a lot of people for it. And I think they like Junior. He's a natural mean guy,
Killed it, bro.
Yeah.
He killed his role.
He's never done a movie before.
Yeah.
And I feel so proud, when I saw him. And, being there, watching my son, in a big movie like that, in a big part, it's like fucking amazing, bro. Super satisfied, super happy. And see, those are the moments that, touch my heart, man. And I'm like, fuck, yeah, you didn't do that bad after all.
No, dude, he killed it, bro. I was surprised, and I was like, oh shit, like, he can pull it off as an actor if he wants to try acting after boxing.
Yeah,
he did good.
I think so. Yeah, for not knowing, he did pretty good, I think.
That was dope. That was a really good movie. I think he did an amazing job. I think he killed it, and I just want to see him do more movies. That'd be dope.
Yeah, for me too. I wish I could do more movies. Yeah.
So David went up to 175. You just mentioned that he was hurt. A lot of people said, he didn't look good, but you got it. It was his first fight.
But hopefully Canelo can take that fight,
Right.
He sees that, he's not that or that, Let's make it happen, still.
I mean, I think, to be honest with you, that's the fight to make. Yeah. Not at 175. I like it at 168. Yeah, we can do 168, not a problem. Because David said, like, he's quick. His fucking hands are fast. For being...
And, the next fight, I think he's going to look better, like I said, he was injured, and I think it was different place, Miami and all that, so I think he's going to look much, much better on the next fight.
Does he want to stay at 175?
To be honest, I've been talking to him, and he don't really care. As long as there's an opportunity at 168, he'll come down for the next fight to fight Canelo. But if there isn't, who's going to fight at 168? So we're trying to see if we can fight the winner of Better Beef and Bivol.
Oh, fuck, that's great.
So that's the other thing that we're trying to do. But we're there, both ways. Whatever comes first. I think that's a smart move.
There's been a lot of talk of Crawford moving up to fight at 160.
Yeah, I mean,
would you guys take that fight?
160? No, we can't do 160.
No, if he comes up to like 165 at a catchweight.
No, there's no fucking way. We have to do 168.
168.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and try to give everybody hopes. That 168. It's perfect, but that's it. Why does he want to fight Canelo 168? And want to fight us in a catch weight,
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense. But if he says, you know what, I'll fight David at 168.
Shit, we'll make it right now. We'll
that'd be tight.
Fight right away,
Me personally, I don't like it. I think
he's too little, man.
Yeah, he's too little.
He's too little. My respect, he's a great fighter. He has a small frame too.
Yeah.
So what the hell is he gonna put all that weight?
I don't even like it for Canelo either. I think
he's too big.
The fight to make is David and Canelo. That's it.
Yeah.
And outside of that, there's nothing else that's Bivol and Better Beef, like that's cool too. But the world, like, come on, Canelo.
Hey, they want to see that fight,
You gotta see it, bro.
Still, he says that he didn't look good, this and that. Well, he's talking too much, man. Let's make it happen.
Do you like the new Canelo? The shit-talking, English-speaking Canelo? Cambió mucho, huh?
Yeah, he's different. He's doing a lot of things, I don't give a fuck.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
So what's next right now for David? Has he got anything lined up?
He has a fight coming up on December. He's supposed to be fighting. I think it's the 14th. I forgot, to be honest with you. I got all these fights lined up right now that, we got a lot of time. And, it's exciting, he comes back on December, and we'll tell you guys pretty soon, like in a couple of weeks, who he's fighting. So we're working on that right now.
Now, you used to be a Rayos coach.
Yeah,
Rayo was
I
in your
got him
stable.
since he was 16, 17 years old. I adopted him, and he was with David and Junior all this time. They treat him like his brothers. He wanted to go pro right at 17, I think. And I told him, no, man, you need a lot to still learn. And we finally debuted him at 18 years old. And I got his first professional fight. I was with him, and not the last fight, but the one before that. We were doing really good. We signed him with Top Rank, with PVC, PVC, and they were taking him real good. And he lost ground a little bit. He got unfocused a little bit. And that's why he lost, But then he came back strong again, and he looked really good and got the knockout with Colbert, and that's how he landed the fight with Pitbull.
I think he won the first fight.
Yeah, I think he won that first fight, so they took it away from him.
I was mad. Well, when he lost, I was there. That fight. Fuck, dude, esa madre sí me dolió.
Yeah.
It hurt.
Man, that was but it worked even better. Like I said, God works in different mysterious ways, and I think it was great, because Pitbull, nobody wanted to fight him.
Hell no.
But now that he had 2 losses, we can beat him. Even Pitbull underestimate him,
Right.
So now, I just manage him. He went and trained with Robert Garcia at his gym, and I talked to Robert, and I said, I talked to his father, I talked to Rayo, and I told him, hey, listen, I think it will be a great idea if you can work with Robert. He's had a lot of champions. He knows a lot about boxing. He said, yeah, so.
So that was your idea?
Well, we talked about it. Was my idea, so I talked to his father, and then he said, yeah, I think that's a great idea, because he went back to his trainer, Mario, when he had him in the amateurs, and he only been with him for 2 professional fights, and I was with him with 1, and he knows a lot, but, he's never been at that level,
right.
Too, with that people and world title and all that, so I thought, that it would be a great idea. I want to win. If he wins, I win.
Right,
So
of course.
at the end of the day, there's no egos here. He's not working with me, but I got to make sure that I got him the right way and put the right fights for him. I've been managing him since he was 18 years old. I managed David Jr., Diego, Julio Porras. Now I have Omar also from Mexico, and Daniel Blancas and Junior and David. So we've been doing a great job. So I think I can see already. Like I said, that's why I talked to the father. I talked to Rayo. They said okay. I talked to Robert, and he loved the idea. And now Robert's super happy. So
how happy were you when he beat Pitbull?
Oh shit! Man. To be honest with you, this is the first time I just go there and do the manager's job, make sure everything's good, the plans and everything, and all that, and shit. So I was there. So I was sitting down, enjoying the fight. Not in the corner.
Yeah.
I was so fucking nervous, man. The first round, second round, third round, I kind of got a little bit better. Now the fourth, I started feeling really comfortable.
Right.
And that's when, I see, fuck, Rayo has a really chance to beat this guy. Those uppercuts are hitting good, the body shot, the distance, and everything. And I just thought, hopefully, because I didn't go see him, at the training camp. But I talked to him, and he said that he's super motivated, training really hard. So I was just thinking, man, don't get tired.
Right.
Don't get tired. If you don't get tired, I think he got better and better and better and better, with those uppercuts, distance, hooks, and getting out of the way. And but then, when it was around 10, 11, I in my heart, I knew he won. He did enough to win.
Oh, for sure.
So I was very confident, and that he did win, and thank God he didn't put me to a lot of stress.
Well, I want to thank Rayo because I won $500, bro. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And I was in an argument with a lot of people saying that, okay, pinche corron, like he just ran. I was like, dude, he did not run. He boxed.
That was the plan. That was the plan. The thing is, we talked to him and we said, you got to use your jab. You got to, when he comes in, maybe throw a hook and get out of the way. Don't walk straight back. Don't go to the ropes. You
got to use angles with Pitbull.
Uppercut. He blocks really good. So you got to go behind those elbows too. So and like I said, they had a great plan and it worked to perfection. So a lot of people that know about boxing, Pitbull couldn't do any adjustments.
He didn't have a game, a second.
But he didn't have nothing else.
No plan B.
No plan B, and I think now we have a rematch clause, so we're trying to see if we're gonna get that fight or we go and fight. What's his name? Tank Davis.
Oh,
that's a tough fight, bro. Super tough, but at the end of the day, you got to risk.
Yeah.
And if Rayo beats Tank, man, he's a superstar.
Oh, most definitely.
It's a top fight, because Tank, he's fought all these styles. He adjusts to everything, and it's unbelievable, the power he has and all that. But at the end of the day, we wanted to fight Tank,
right?
Even before, so why not fight him now?
I think if he beats Tank,
damn,
he's gonna, like what happened to Pitbull when he fought Tank. I think that'll happen to Rayo, but like times 10.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know, we were Pitbull's first American interview. It's documented. Wow. So if you guys want to fact check me, go for it.
Really?
He didn't do no other English interview before us. And yeah, it was over the phone. I had his phone number and he was calling me, hey, ¿vas a venir a la pelea? Yeah. Voy a estar en el hotel. Cool. We pull up to the hotel and he ghosted us, bro.
Really?
Yeah. He, as soon as that bell rung and that crowd was going crazy, like automatically, like that shit took over. Ya no me contestó el teléfono. He didn't answer his phone. He didn't text me back. Like he was just completely like, I don't know you guys. He was supposed to go back to Mexico on Monday morning. He didn't. He stayed in LA and Beverly Hills for like a week and a half.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really? Damn.
So, but still, like, I'm still proud to say that we were his first American interview.
Yeah.
It's actually episode 29. If you go back and look at the archives. And but I hope Rayo don't do that. And he hasn't. He still shows us a lot of love, man. I appreciate you guys, having us at the private workout in San Diego. Yeah. That's where we met.
Yeah.
Thank you to Nancy and Supreme Boxing. Appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Oh, let's talk about Diego real quick.
Oh yeah. Some fight coming up this
yeah.
Saturday.
Diego's fighting this weekend. That kid just keeps getting better, man.
Yeah, that's the plan. He's very quiet, a very quiet guy that it's going up to the rankings little by little, and he's getting all that experience. No rush, no nothing. So, but I think he's ready. He's ready. I think we got to prove ourselves this Saturday. I always forget his name. This guy that he's gonna fight. What's that guy's name?
Let me check.
Man, I always forget. So he has a lot of experience. He fought Daniel Jacobs. He fought Boo Boo. He's fought a lot of good guys. And I think it's gonna be a tough fight. He has a lot of experience, and but like I said, we have to look impressive in order to get closer to that world title.
I think the only thing from the last time, I think Diego started a little slow, but fuck, dude, he ended up.
I'm not
Oh
gonna
my
make no
God.
excuses. But what happened is that his daughter, it's almost 1 year old.
Sulaki.
Sulaki, yeah, that's a tough guy, man. Diego, on his last fight, man, he had no sleep. I was very close to canceling that fight, bro. To be honest with you,
Did he have his baby before or right after the fight?
Right before.
Right before, huh?
4 or 5 weeks before.
Yeah.
So, going through all that process, when the baby's gonna
becoming
be born,
a dad
and then having the baby and getting up and making that bottle and all that, he
changing
was
those
tired,
diapers.
bro.
Yeah.
Man, I saw him like, I was talking to my other coach, Britos. I told him, dude, I don't know, man. I'm gonna give him some vitamins. If those vitamins don't work, man, it's like, damn,
Yeah.
I see him tired, bro. At the end of the day, he might not see that. He wants to fight, but it's my obligation, my responsibility, to say, hey, I don't think the reflex are working good. Everything's not, but we gave him some medicine. I'm not medicine, vitamins, and right away, I saw a different guy, so I'm like, oh shit, we're good.
Right.
So,
I'm telling you, that kid looks great, and you can see him evolve and change and choose better punches, and his defense is getting better. He's doing great. Even Federico looks better as his fights progress. So I think you're doing an amazing job over there with your stable.
Well, like I said, I love what I do. To be honest with you, I love fundamentals. Man, I focus a lot on little things, and like I love the jab. I love for them to move their head, and go to the body. And so those are the fundamentals for me. I pretty much do that a lot. And then little by little, we work on uppercuts, angles, and all that. But the most important thing, we work a lot on fundamentals.
Dude, his uppercut is fucking amazing.
Crazy, huh?
I love that shit. Well, Jose, muchas gracias, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I'm going to ask you one more question, and we're going to end it with that. If you had one advice to give to the youth, what would it be and why?
My best advice is, man, now these days, man, after COVID, I think that a lot of people got on their phones a lot, their gadgets a lot, you know, and everybody's a little bit overweight because of that, and everybody blames the pandemic, but I think we should start going out, and the parents, I see little babies, now they have the little phone. They're like not
Their
even
little
7,
tablet.
Yeah, 7 months, 8 months, man, and they already know how to
maneuver.
It's unbelievable, but I think, man, everybody's getting into their gadgets a little bit more. I think the parents should take them to do any kind of sports, anything, whatever. Just run, man. Get outside. Let's, to be honest, if I had little kids or whatever, teenagers, I will make them go run 2-3 miles every day. Just it's not going to hurt you. It's just going to get you better, and you're going to be healthier. And why not?
Yeah, it's healthy.
And I think that would be a big advice that I would give everybody. Send your kids to run. At least 2-3 times a week.
Yeah. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The man has spoken. Muchas gracias. Thank you for your time. As you can see, we got new merch out. Make sure you guys co-cop that at the Boxing Club Podcast.
Make sure you guys go get your shirt.
Thank you very much. Respect. Where can people follow you at on Instagram?
They can follow us at Instagram, Jose Benavidez and Team Benavidez, and also Facebook, Jose Benavidez and Team Benavidez.
Oh, and me saludas a ¿cómo se llama? The cook?
Poncho.
Poncho.
Oh, Poncho.
Yeah, tell Poncho I said
Saludos
what's
para
up.
Poncho.
Saludos, Poncho. Hey, tu siete mares está. I haven't had one that bomb since.
Oh, yeah.
So, muchas gracias, Jose. Thank you very much.
Thank
This
you.
has been another episode of the Boxing Club Podcast.
Thank you.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow for all the latest and greatest episodes. As you can see, we are with the greatest. So, thank you very much. And we out.